Hello there folks, it is Toby from TIJ Music and welcome to what is more of an impromptu video. Usually these are quite planned a few hours in advance, but today just an impromptu video to show a new record in my collection. Now I've had a bit of flack in the past for calling this series Box Set Showcase, so today I'm going to call it Record Showcase because, to be fair, this isn't a box set at all, but it is a double vinyl. Picked it up from Amazon last week for £15. It was retail price, I think about £36, so it was a good deal, a very good deal, recommended by Super Deluxe Edition, and that is of one of my favourite groups. You can see them on the front here, albeit in their heyday, and this is the highlights from the Pink Floyd Later Years box set, 1987 to 2019. Now, the original box set for this is something on the lines of 5 CDs, 6 Blu-rays, 5 DVDs, and a couple of vinyl singles for that set you back for about a premium of £450, which, without going into too much detail, is an absolute abomination, to be quite honest. You know, yeah, crazy. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about what has been put together, this highlights package, as part of the Later Years box set. So I'm going to show you the music and talk a little bit about it. You know, some of these videos have done well in the past, and I'm not going to do it for every record in my collection, but this is a new one that I've bought. I don't really tend to spend much over £20 on records, to be honest. It's A, budget, and B, just on a tight sod. So at the end of the day, there are those two things to it. But some very good tracks on here. So this is some highlights from the Later Years box set. You can see the track listing on the back. So obviously David Gilmour, Nick Mason and Rick Wright, part of the band at this point. We've got on record 1, Shine On You Crazy Diamond from the Knebworth concert, a Maroon Jam from the Division Bell sessions, and the new mix of One Slip from a Momentary Lapse of Reason released in 87. And then on side 2, Lost for Words, a tour rehearsal, Us and Them, a remix from Delicate Sound of Thunder, and Comfortably Numb, albeit a shortened version from Live at Knebworth. Then on record 2, a 2019 remix of Sorrow, a 2019 Delicate Sound of Thunder Learning to Fly remix, a Division Bell early version of High Hopes. And on side 4, we've got On the Turning Away from a Momentary Lapse of Reason 2019 remix, Wish You Were Here from the Knebworth concert in 1990 once again, and then closing out the album, Run Like Hell from Delicate Sound of Thunder. Now, you can kind of see maybe why I wasn't willing to pay more than £20 for this. You know, there's only 12 tracks. Obviously, Pink Floyd are different to some bands in that, for example, I've got a Police box set, whatever, and you know, most of the Police tracks are a few minutes long. Obviously, a lot of these, the likes of Shine On, High Hopes, Us and Them, Comfortably Numb, of course, are a lot longer than that, and Comfortably Numb slightly shortened on this release. But it's got a few, well, it's got one nice thing with it. It's got a 20-odd page booklet with it. I think there's 30 pages in this, actually, and there's just a few pages. I'm not going to flick through all of them, but just this first page is quite nice. It's got the guys of the band, Dave, Nick and Rick, and some of the... it's almost like, I think it's like the tour tickets almost, yeah, from the Delicate Sound of Thunder, Momentary Lapse of Reason tour, and I think there's some... Is there anything from the Division Bell stuff here? I don't think there is, actually. I think it's just from the 1989 shows, but... You know, the band, by this time, weren't in their heyday. Roger Waters had gone, and we'd got past the golden period. And although this is called the Later Years, I guess you could say, I mean, there's got to be at least half of this, which is pre-Gilmour era, if you like. Not in terms of Gilmour being in the band, but I think this is really what you would call the Gilmour era, in terms of David Gilmour being the leader of the band. So, obviously, Shine On, Us and Them, Comfortably Numb, Wish You Were Here, Run Like Hell. So 5 out of 12. Apologies about the light in the background, by the way. So nearly half of this record is the old stuff, but ultimately the old stuff is very good. And, you know, whatever your opinions about Pink Floyd, David Gilmour's guitar really made some of those tracks. So you don't lose anything by Roger Waters not being there. But you know, a few nice sleeves here, just nice and clean. Usual, just sort of black vinyl. All the credits on each track, talking about, you know, where it's recorded and all the rights. So no lyrics or anything like that, but, you know, I'm not really too bothered. I don't think this is particularly targeted at, you know, Pink Floyd fans that aren't that much into the music. You know, if they are into the music, then they're not really going to be into... If they're not into the music too much, they're not going to be too interested in... you know, these later years, the likes of Marooned and Lost for Words, which, you know, by the way, and Sorrow and High Hopes, which, you know, are all really good tracks. And I think they do live up to the classic era stuff. There's no question about that. There's some stuff, the likes of the stuff on A Momentary Lapse of Reason, that isn't great, but the likes of Learning to Fly are excellent. And of course, what you do get in the full Later Years box set is a remixed version of A Momentary Lapse of Reason, because it was really criticised at the time for its typical 80s production values and the fact it did sound very 80s, and that's a bit polished. Admittedly, I haven't listened to that, and it would be nice if they brought out just an exclusive CD, vinyl, whatever, with that album on. But then I guess, you have that thing of, well, you've got to buy the box set for that. It's a little bit like the Wall live album, for example. Is anybody out there live at Earl's Court, which I got in combination with the Wall Immersion Edition, which set me back about £60. So if you're going to offer just that live album, which is really the reason I bought that box set, the Wall is my favourite Pink Floyd album, but the live album was a big draw into that box set. If you're just going to offer that separately, then you're not going to make the money on the box set. So I understand why that's been done, but I'd really like to get a physical edition of the new Momentary Lapse of Reason remix, because there are some great tracks on here. They've picked a really good selection. Some of the most known early tracks are arguably some of the best late tracks. You've got Marooned, One Slip, Lost for Words, Sorrow, High Hopes, Learning to Fly, and On the Turning Away. The only one I can possibly think of maybe is Coming Back to Life that I'd have liked to have seen. But, obviously you've got all of those tracks on the Pulse live album, which I've got a DVD of. So, the tracks are available, but it is nice to get a shiny new remaster. And, of course, the Delicate Sound of Thunder concert has been remastered, and I believe that's in its own... I don't know if I think it's been released as a DVD, actually, or a Blu-ray, rather. So that's an interesting one, but, I'm not too... this is going to sound ridiculous, but I'm not too interested in the live stuff in terms of Blu-ray, DVD, and all that stuff, but I do like the audio. So, this is a really good box set. See, I'm going into the box set again. It's just a double album, but it was a bargain price. As I said, the retail is about £36, and I got it for £15 from Amazon from a vendor called Global Deals. Again, through Super Deluxe Edition, who recommended it, and I thought, well, it's a steal at that. It really is, and one of my favourite groups, and we'll add to that collection because, of course, the later albums, particularly the Division Belt, are an absolute bomb, on vinyl in terms of the price. The Division Belt goes for about £80 or £90. The Momentary Lapse of Reason, admittedly, isn't anywhere near as bad. I know the 180 grams aren't as bad, but, I like the original, albeit, this is very, very well mixed, and, but pretty much worth having for any Pink Floyd fans. Just a quick video, really, to talk about the box set. I think I've talked about everything, really, here. I've shown off the little booklet that comes with it, and I've had a, listen to both sides of both records, because it's a double album today, and it sounds really good. It's come new, and I'm sure it'll take pride and place in my collection for a long time to come. So if you enjoyed that, make sure to leave a thumbs up down below. Again, just an impromptu video rather than just as a break, really, from the reviews that I do. But if you want to see any certain reviews, top 10s, all that sort of stuff, make sure to leave a comment down below. If you've got the box set, see, I've done it again. If you've got the record, I'm doing it on purpose now, I promise. If you've got the record, or if you've got any opinions about Pink Floyd, the later years, the music, whatever, leave them down in the comments. And also remember to subscribe for regular album reviews, top 10s, and all the rest of it. I've been Toby from TIJ Music, and I'll see you guys for the next one. Goodbye for now.